We've got a couple of new Hitachi nail guns, and these Hitachis are fantastic. Some of my very favorites. So this is the nail gun that we've been running so far through the whole job, and I've had my Hitachi nail guns. It's what I've always used, and they are they're definitely an expensive nail gun, but they are totally worth it. So we're gonna open these up today and take a look at them, go through them, and we'll talk about some of the things we like, some of the things we don't like. One thing I can see already is that this particular one, they throw in a hook, which is really nice, and a pair of safety glasses, which is very nice. This will probably be the only time that I wear them, but look, I'm wearing my safety glasses. All right. That is sweet. So the NR83A, and this is a 5, so this is generation 5. And there's if you're down at the pawn shop and you're looking for these guns, these are guns that are worth picking up used because they run forever. And if they do have problems, they're really easy to source parts for. This is like the Chevy 350 of nail guns. They've made a bazillion of them. They run and run and run. They're simple. The parts are easy to get a hold of, and they're inexpensive. So NR83A, and this is 5. So this is their 5th evolution of this particular gun. There's a couple of evolutions in there that were not great. I remember buying an NR83A3 or 4, and they had a recall on it, and they took them back, swapped us out, and they reworked it, and so there was some bad evolutions in there. So I would definitely either go if you can find the original A1, A2, or get a brand new A5. That would be my recommendation. They're really light, solid case. This one's got a really nice improved trigger. In fact, so we've got the one that we've been running for years and years and years, and this is the NR83A3 for the A3, and we haven't had a single problem with this gun at all. So, you know, do your own research, but I would not be afraid to go to a pawn shop, see this gun, and buy it. It's my very favorite nail gun, and we run the heck out of them. There's just a lot of great features. So on this one, we've upgraded a rafter hook on both sides, 2 different kinds. The new one comes with a single rafter hook, which is nice because we would never run these guns without rafter hooks, because you're always having to either hang them on your belt or hang them on a wall or somewhere to keep them close to you. So this Hitachi NR83A3 is several years old. I would say, gosh, how long have I had this thing? 6 years. And this new one, the thing I really like about the new one is the adjustable trigger, and you can see that in there. You open that up. I don't know if you can see that. If I open that up, and now I can pull the trigger, and if I'm doing sheeting, I can just go along bumping it and it'll fire. But I don't necessarily want that all the time, because I could bump this gun against my leg or something and it would go off if I was holding the trigger and not thinking. So let's put some oil in this thing and we'll fire it up. Yeeshka manishka. Making a mess. 6 or 8 drops, a couple of squirts, and definitely oil the gun every morning before you run it. The thing I like about these Hitachis is you can run the shorter nails, the 2-inch or whatever, and you can run all the way up to 3 1/4 inch. So I'll show you the safety feature, this trigger. If I push it down and I pull the trigger, it shoots. But if I'm holding the trigger, I got nothing. Which, if I'm sheeting a wall or something, that's a problem. So if I adjust the little trigger, and now if I'm pushing it down and I pull the trigger, still works, but I can hold the trigger now and rock and roll. The problem is if I'm holding that trigger and I bump it against my leg or something, that could be dangerous. So most of the time we just want to run it where I've got to push it and pull it. Push in the pushing the safety, pull the trigger. Pushing the safety, pull the trigger. That's going to be the safest mode. Most guys are going to run it in bump mode all the time. So that's one of the real advantages to this new trigger system. I'm not sure how much we're going to actually use it. It's probably going to get set and forgot about. I'll show you the older version. If I'm shooting, I push it down, I pull the trigger. If I'm holding the trigger, then I can go and bump it and it'll just keep going. As long as I'm holding that trigger. So it's nice having the option on the new gun. You can see on the old one, it's got the same adjustments for depth. So this NR83A really is a great gun, and it'll shoot nails all the way from 2-inch all the way to 3 1/4. And I really don't like that. I'm not used to that. I can see the safety advantage, but what we're used to is be able to just bump it and go. So I'm excited. It'll be fun to get the Raptor hanger on there. That's always a good addition. So brand new Hitachi. It's been really streamlined. There's a lot of features that I like. I think it's going to be a great addition for this upcoming year, which is going to be super busy. It'll be nice to have the extra nail guns, be able to get them set up. Everybody can have their own nail gun, and instead of having to run 2 for 3 guys, we'll be able to run 3 for 3 guys, and nobody's ever waiting on a nail gun. We can really rock and roll. But I don't know if you just needed another nail gun. I don't know that there's enough upgrades in the new gun to run out and get one, because the old is just still a fantastic gun. There's nothing wrong with it. If you could pick one of these up at the pawn store, pawn shop or whatever, you should, I would jump on it, grab it. But this new gun, we're gonna run it good and hard, and we'll do some more videos as we go and see what we like and what we don't like, especially with this new trigger mechanism. So lots more videos to come on the Hitachi nail gun. I love Hitachi. I would spend my own money on these guns because I love them. It's what I've always run. They've always stood up to the test, and so I'm excited to add these to the collection. So today we'll open this up and check it out and take you along. Alright, I got some safety glasses. Muy importante. Safety first. Woo! It's slick, auto feed. So this is the Hitachi NR65 AK2S. This is the they call it a strip nailer. We call it the Tico nailer. So this is all of our little 2-inch or 2.5-inch Tico nails that can do all of our connections. So our H-clips, our straps, any of those where we're connecting metal to the wood. With this little point here, you can line this sucker up and get those nails right in the hanger, whatever it may be. Saves a lot of time. I remember when I started in construction, one of my first jobs was to take a hammer and a handful of Tico nails and go around towards the end of the job and get up there and one by one nail those little short nails in. And I would come home with swollen fingers from trying to hold those nails and pound them in. So this, being able to load them in and just line it up and shoot it, is going to speed things up when it comes to putting in our all of our hardware, straps, H-clips, whatever it is. So I'm excited that we've added this to the collection, and as things go along, we'll definitely get this out and shoot some video on using it, and maybe even do some races against hand-driven nails versus gun nails. We'll see how that goes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. Go ahead. Are you looking at my balls? We're wrapping up the... What are you giggling at? Okay, ready? No. We're wrapping up the interior walls. We've got to go back and do some ladder blocking. We've got to do some straightening and some racking, checking everything. And then we'll be starting all of the top plate. And the weather was actually really good. We got 4 or 5 inches of snow over the weekend, and we were able to get a whole bunch done today. It was actually a beautiful day. The hope is that the weather holds and we keep going. We get top plating in. We've got to do the garage walls, and we've got some timber framing to do on the front and back porch. So that's kind of the plan this week, and that's all subject to the weather and what happens. But we're 5 or 6 work days away from maybe 7, depending on how long the timber framing takes. We'll be another 5 or 6 days, 7 at the latest, and we'll be ready for trusses. So we're in a week from now, we should be hopefully setting trusses. And the trusses that are coming are an attic truss, and what that means is they're super heavy duty. They have a built-in support, and we'll actually be building the second floor, about 1,000 square foot inside those attic trusses upstairs. And then, so from the outside, it's going to look like a Rambler, just a one-level home. But up there, we're going to pick up another 1,000 square foot. And that's going to help offset the fact that this house doesn't have a basement because of the high water table, and give the homeowners some extra room for storage or an office or craft room or whatever they want up there. On inside the already existing walls and roof. So for very little extra cost, they were able to add a lot more square footage. So I'm looking forward to get those trusses set. That'll be a big day. We'll have a lot of extra guys out helping with setting the trusses. It'll be kind of a major operation to get those set, and then a lot of work to get the overbuilds in, and the fascia, and then sheeting that thing. So that's kind of looking down the road the next couple of weeks. That's what we're going to be working on.